Hello children, I hope you all are doing great. In this video, we will start with the first chapter in maths, that is Roman numerals. Chalo, let's learn what Roman numerals are. Now, I want you all to observe the two pictures. What difference you could find? Well, the clock 1, that is the first clock, have numbers which are 1, 2, 3, which are called as international numerals. While the second clock has some symbol instead of the numbers. So, these symbols are called Roman numerals, children. You may think, ये Roman numerals आया कहाँ से? So children, long back in Europe, those people used to use some letters to write, and those letters were called as Roman letters. And from those letters, we got these numbers and we named them as Roman numerals. And that is the reason these symbols are called as Roman numerals. Now children, you may think, how do we come to know that which particular symbol is for which number? It is important for us to know ना कि कौन सा symbol कौन सा number denote करता है, without which how we will be able to understand it. So children, you need to know few things. In fact, you need to remember these things. We write 1 in international system. In Roman numeral, it is written as I. 5 is written as V. 10 is written as X. 50 is written as L. 100 is written as C. 500 is written as D. And 1000 is written as M. Now, this year we will be using only 3 Roman numerals, that is 1, 5 and 10, which is I, V and X. Now, here are few examples of international numbers written in Roman form. Pause the video and go through all the numbers. Now children, as we need to follow rules in our life and behave according to those rules, same way in maths also, there are various rules which we need to follow. And if you understand those rules and you work according to those rules, then no one can stop you to understand that concept. So, in Roman numerals also, there are specific rules. So, now let's understand these rules. So, the first rule says, if either of the symbols I or X is written 2 or 3 times, so their sum total is the number they make. Now what do you understand by this? That is, if you write I or X twice or thrice, so whatever is the sum total, that is the number. Let's understand this with an example. For example, you are writing 2 times I. Now as 1 I is equal to 1, so 2 times I will be written as 1 plus 1. Now 1 plus 1 is 2. So that means 2I in Roman numerals is 2 in international form. Let's look at the second example. If you write 2 times x, now 1x is equal to 10. We saw in the previous slides. So 2x will be equal to 10 plus 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. So if you write 2x in Roman form, so in international form it is 20. And in Roman form also we read it as 20. Third example, if you write 3i, 1i is 1. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is equal to 3. So 3i is nothing but 3. Now, let's look at the second rule. So, the second rule says the symbol I or X can be repeated for a maximum of 3 times. I is what, children? 1, and X is what? 10. So these two symbols you cannot repeat it for more than 3 times. Example, you can write it I for 3 times, which will be equal to 3, and X, which is 10, for 3 times, which will be equal to 30. Also, the numerals V is never repeated. So you need to keep this in your mind that I or X, which is 1 or 10, you can repeat it for maximum of 3 times. But when you are writing V, which is 5, you cannot repeat that. You cannot write V, V, V or V, V. You need to write it for one time only. So 1 V, which will be equal to 5. The next rule says when either I or V, which is 1 or 5, is written on the right of the symbol, when you write them on the right of the symbol of a bigger number, its value is added to the value of the bigger number. जो भी बड़ा number रहेगा, if you are writing it to the right side of that big number, then you need to add them. Example, V, that is 5, and you are writing I next to it, which is 1. Now 5 is a bigger number and you're writing 1 on the right hand side. So V is written, and when I is written on the right hand side, it is 5 plus 1. We will add it, which will be equal to 6. Another example, V, which is 5, and on the right hand side we have written 2 I's, which is 2. So we will add both the i's to 5. That is 5 plus 1 plus 1, which is 7. Next, x, which is 10. On the right hand side, only 1 is present. So 10 plus 1 is 11. Next, now on the right hand side of x, we have a 5, that is v, and a I, which is 1. So now again x is a bigger number, and on the right hand side we have written 5 and 1, which is v and I. So that means we will add them. So that will be equal to 10 plus 5 plus 1, which is 16. Let's understand the next rule. The next rule says when I is written on the left of v or x, then its value is subtracted. Earlier, in the earlier rule, we were writing it on the right hand side. That time we used to add it. Now, if you write it on the left hand side, you need to subtract it. Left hand side पे लिखोगे तो minus करना है. Right hand side पे लिखोगे तो plus करना है. You need to remember this. The symbol I is not written more than once before V or X. Example, if you're writing 5, that is V, and on the left hand side we are writing I, so we'll subtract 5 minus 1, which is 4. Next, if you are writing 10, that is X, and on the right hand side you are writing 1, which is I, so then we will subtract 10 minus 1, which is 9. Let's understand the Roman numerals from 1 to 20. 1 is written as 1. 2 i's are written, that means 2. 3 i's, 3. Now here 4 is written. How it is 4? Now if you look at the symbol, 5 is there, that is V is there, and on the left hand side we have written one I. So that means 5 minus 1, which is 4, and the next symbol is 5. 6, you have 5, and then on the right hand side we have written 1. So that means 5 plus 1, which is 6. Same way 7 is also written and 8 is also written. Now look at 9. We have written 10 and on the left hand side we write a I. So that means as it is on the left hand side we need to subtract it. So 10 minus 1, which is 9, and then we have 10. For 11, 10 is there and on the right hand side we have 1. So 10 plus 1, which is 11. In the same manner we write 12 and 13 as well. For 14, 10 is there and on the right hand side again I and 5 is there. Now 5 minus I, which is equal to 4. So that means 10 and 4, which is 14. Next is 15. 16 is also written in the same manner, that is 10, then V is 5 and I is 1, which is 16. 17 and 18 is also written in the same manner. Now look at 19. So for 19, here we have a x, which is 10, and then a I and a x. So what we do here is the 10, which is on the right hand side, it has a I on its left hand side. You can see लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे वन आई इज ऑल्सो प्रेजेंट, जो सबसे एक्सट्रीम पर है, जो सबसे एंड पर एक्स है. सो व्हाट वी डू इज so for 19 we will write 1x, that is 10, as it is, and then 10 minus 1, which is 19, as it has I on the left hand side of the x, and then 10 is written as x and x, which is 10 plus 10, that is 20. So children, this was all about Roman numerals. I hope you all understood. In the next video, we will be solving the problem set. Thank you for listening, children. Until then, take care of yourself and stay safe. Bye-bye.